So I get a lot of questions about oud fragrances for men. There are so many different kinds of oud scents. So I thought I would guide you through some of my oud fragrances and share my thoughts on them. So without further ado, let's do this. So first up we have an oud fragrance I feel quite often gets overlooked, and I actually feel the whole brand often gets overlooked. This is Acqua di Parma Colonia Oud. It has Acqua di Parma, sort of a signature citrus on top, which really adds something unique to it. It has a bit of leather underneath it all. It's warm. This to me is an incredibly well-made oud. It definitely feels luxurious, and I feel this is an oud pretty much everyone who's curious about oud should try out. This is not a super mass appealing kind of oud, but it's not something super challenging either. It's sort of a right in the middle. It smells absolutely luxurious. You will definitely stand out from the crowd if you're wearing this. I really like Acqua di Parma Oud, and I'm curious how you feel about it. So if you tried it, please comment on how you feel about it. So next up we have an oud fragrance I feel is extremely mass appealing. If you are a newbie to oud, or if you just love the scent of oud and want an extremely mass appealing, extremely easy to wear, compliment getter oud fragrance, then I feel you should get a sample of Parfums de Marly's Haltane. So this to me is basically a super oudy and woody scent with a big dose of sweetness and a hint of something that's sort of aromatic. The sweetness in Haltane really balances up its oudy and woodiness and makes it extremely mass appealing and enjoyable. Do not think about trying this if you don't enjoy sweet fragrances, because this is loaded with sweetness, but I actually don't feel this is overly sweet. It's not cloying sweet. This is beautiful sweet. I just gotta spray this thing. It's so good. This is absolutely gorgeous. If you are looking for an oud that's easy to wear, that will make you feel crazy sexy, at least I feel crazy sexy whenever I spray this one on, that will most likely land you a compliment or two, then I can highly recommend Haltane. So next up we have the Gentleman from Gucci. It's extremely classy, it's extremely elegant, and to me it's basically an oudy and woody scent with a slight hint of leather underneath it all, and everything is sort of an ambery warm in a fantastic way, and it has a slight hint of smokiness in it. This is the absolute fantastic Gucci Intense Oud. So this smells extremely well made. To me it smells extremely luxurious. This to me is elegance in a bottle. It's an oud that definitely has some depth to it. It's definitely warm, it's definitely sort of slightly smoky, it has a bit of leather underneath it all, but I do not feel this is a challenging oud. This and a nice suit, or just when you are dressed up, oh yes, oh yes. This is Hugo Boss bottled oud, and this one to me is pretty much something oudy, something woody, that's spicy with a bit of fruitiness to it. And it's basically like a fruity version of Boss bottled. I used to absolutely love this one. I still feel this is a really, and I gotta stop saying really, I still feel this is a great mass appealing kind of oud that often gets overlooked. This is not something I feel is challenging. This is very much like a beginner's kind of oud that you can wear to a lot of different occasions. And now it's time for the world's best-selling oud perfume. It's definitely one of the world's most mass appealing oud perfumes. To my nose, it's oudy, woody and spicy, and has a slight hint of vanillic sweetness to it. A slight hint. This is the world famous Tom Ford Oud Wood. It definitely smells extremely well made. It smells great. But as you can see from this bottle, from all the juice I have left, I rarely use it. And the reason for that is because it's quite soft on my skin. Even if I spray a ton, I don't get that much projection. This is a scent that most people who get a whiff of it will say, hey, you smell nice. But to me, and this sounds weird because I just said that I feel this is something that is extremely well made. This to me is almost a bit too polite. I want a bit more oomph or excitement in a scent. That in combination with the fact that this on my skin is quite a soft scent makes me not reach for it that often. But yeah, this one does smell good. Next up, an oud perfume that's so damn good. It's one of my fragrances for life. It's super powerful. It easily fills up a room. It's an attention grabber. I absolutely love it. And to me, it's basically oudi, spicy. It has a fantastic dose of lavender in it and a touch of something that almost feels a bit ambery and a nice dose of musk. This is the epic oud that's fit for a king, and that's you. This is Oud For Greatness. This is so good. Did I mention the saffron? There's saffron in this scent. That's absolutely gorgeous. I feel, even though I know some guys absolutely can't stand it, I still feel this is quite a mass appealing kind of oud. Most people I meet when I have this one on absolutely loves it. This turns heads, and when it turns heads, those turned heads usually find it extremely attractive. It is quite expensive though, so if you are curious about Oud For Greatness, please make sure to get a sample first. Try it before you buy it, but I absolutely love it. So next up, an oud perfume that can be quite polarizing. It's the classic oud and rose combo, and to me it's basically an oudi and woody scent, and with that I mean it's not just oudi, it has an additional dose of woodiness to it, together with a fantastic dose of rose. The rose in this scent is something beautiful and elegant. The oudi part of it is balancing right on the edge of becoming something that's dirty and naughty, and sometimes during its development it crosses that line and comes across as something that is sort of dirty and naughty, and sometimes it just feels elegant. This to me is a beautiful dance between that sort of a dirty and naughty oud and that beautiful fantastic rose. This is to me the epic Dior Oud Ispahan. So Dior Oud Ispahan, definitely the oudi side of it is definitely a bit dirty, barnyardy, definitely naughty, definitely sexy, but some people are going to say, hey, you smell like shit. But some are going to come up to you and say, holy shit, you smell sexy as f. That's how extremely polarizing this one is. Oud Ispahan, I would say, is not a safe blind buy. Please do try it before you buy it. But with that said, this to me, that dance between that sort of a dirty oud and that beautiful rose is a fantastic one. I absolutely love contrast, and I'm really getting contrast in Oud Ispahan. Next up, an oud fragrance I feel is quite nice, but I actually don't reach for it that often. And to me, it's a very spicy, oudi scent with a dose of leather in it and maybe a hint of something that is maybe slightly aromatic. This is Dunhill Icon Absolute, and I think that the reason why I don't reach for it that often is probably because it is nice, but if I look at all the oud fragrances I have, I just reach for the others way more. This is a nice scent. It's not super mass appealing, but it's not something that's crazy challenging either. If you can find it at a discounter for a good price and you are curious about it, the notes look good, and you feel that you will like it, then why not try it? But I would not pay a lot of money for this one. So once again, this is a nice oud. But when compared to the other oud fragrances I have, I just don't reach for this one as much as I reach for the other ones. So it's nice, but yeah. Next up, an oud fragrance I feel is quite nice, but it's yet another oud fragrance that I don't reach for that often. I reach for my other oud scents way more often than this, but this to me is a spicy, oudy and woody scent with quite a prominent dose of tobacco and a hint of sweetness. I have no idea what kind of sweetness that is, but this is Chopard's Oud Malaki. This to me is quite nice. If you can find it at a good price, definitely give it some thought. Look at the notes, and if you feel you will like it, then why not try it? It's not, however, as mass appealing and, at least according to me, sexy and attractive as Parfums de Marly's Haltane. It's not as super elegant as the Gucci, even though it's not that far behind. And it's not as easy to like and easy to wear as Boss Bottled Oud, but it's definitely a nice oud. Next up is one of the latest oud fragrances that I bought. To me, it's an extremely mass appealing oud. It's definitely a future compliment getter. It smells absolutely gorgeous, and it's a fragrance in Armani's quite epic Stronger With You line. And this is Stronger With You oud. And this one to me is basically so smooth. This is absolutely gorgeous. You get a big dose of oud, a super smooth, super mass appealing kind of oud, together with a big dose of vanilla. That vanilla to me has a slight hint of sweetness to it, so this is not overly sweet in any way. It has a fantastic dose of lavender in it, and everything has a really nice warm kind of feel to it with a hint of sweetness. Now this can be quite hard to find, but if you can find it, do not pay too much for it. Make sure you don't overpay for it. Then I can highly recommend Stronger With You oud. This to me is probably one of the most mass appealing oud perfumes a man can buy. And I'm actually gonna say that I feel this is even more mass appealing than Tom Ford's Oud Wood. This is definitely one of my absolute favorite oud perfumes, and the reason for that is quite simple. It has oud, that oud is quite smooth, and it's paired with a fantastic dose of vanilla, and everything is slightly sweet. That combination, and that lavender just adds another layer of something exciting and attractive to it all. I really like this. We are going back to the house of Dunhill, and this is a scent that truly impressed me when I bought it. This is a fantastic scent where I feel the oud takes a backseat to a super smooth, elegant and quite classy leather, together with musk and a bit of tobacco. This is the fantastic, and I gotta start using it more, the fantastic Dunhill Agar wood. When you spray this thing on, some of you are probably going to disagree with me, but I feel this is not something that's challenging. This is, to me, a super smooth leather, a classy, elegant, with a dose of sexiness kind of leather, together with a dose of oud in the background, a dose of tobacco in the background, and something musky. Now this has a dent to it, but I actually feel when I just sprayed it on that I gotta use this more. This is for someone who really enjoys the scent of leather, who enjoys something that's woody, sort of a woody, but don't want that oudiness to dominate everything. So next up, a fantastic fragrance. This is a fragrance I recommended in previous videos. It's definitely an attention grabber and I absolutely love it. Now this is a perfume where the oud takes a backseat to pretty much everything else. This is not a loud kind of oud. The oud in this is quite discreet. This is a Montale Oud Tobacco, and this to me is basically spiciness with a super soft tobacco and a dose of sweet tonka. So super soft tobacco with something that's spicy and a sweetness that comes from tonka. This is a gorgeous scent. Now the only thing, and I'm curious, please comment if this has happened to you. This is nice, yeah, Montale, this is nice, but every time I try to sort of grab this, this ends up pulling the nozzle, so I don't like them. But for some reason I keep them. So I'm gonna spray this on, and so nice. If you are a big fan of tobacco scents and want what I think is a super soft but quite intense kind of tobacco that's a bit spicy, a bit sweet, that will get your attention, that's absolutely gorgeous, then why not try this one? Please like this video, thank you, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, make sure you check out the videos over there. Oh yes,